So this is the update on Sully and the girls. Um, Sully is like, you know, um, how can I say this? Like he's real, like like I told you, like, he's laid back and stuff like that. But I don't know. He been real distant with the other girls as well too, Miranda, especially Miranda, and everything like that. But I can't really like say too much on that or whatever the case is. But but remember her friend that I told y'all about and everything. Um, he finally sat around there, met up with my other homegirl, Miranda, and we have Stacy. So he met up with her. I think it was like a couple of days ago. They met up, they linked and stuff like that. And she sat up there and confessed to me or something like that. It was something along the lines of, but I mean, it's not like no pregnancy or nothing like that. But like, it's just like it was something about like money that she didn't want to tell him that she lost or something like that. And it was like a lot of money, like, and I'm not talking about $1,000 or something like that. She lost about, like, I think a good 40K. Now how she lost the 40K, I really don't know, but I'm kind of like putting two and two together. She's trying to like disguise it with like stocks and stuff like that. Like, she's real like a mix of introvert and outgoing. But but like, you have those type of people, but they still like real nice and all of this other stuff, real cool to hang out with. Don't get me wrong, she smoked this and this and this. And she knows how to get money but lose it at the same time. And I be trying to like figure out like how in the hell did you lose like $40,000? So she told me it was some type of thing she clicked on her phone, some type of weird link or something. And then they was like, well, to give her, like, I think like she was supposed to either giving or some type of deposit or something that she was supposed to make or something like that. And but the deposit started off with like $100. Because she likes to do like the Airbnbs from time to time and the nice fancy hotels and this, that, and the third. But I'm like, was it all like at one, like a lump sum or something like that? Like, 40K of a lump sum? She was like, no, it was like, it's like, no, it was like, over time of when all of the stuff was happening. But I'm like, how did you let that go? She was like, I'd be paying attention to my bank account and stuff like that. But it's always like, you kind of like shrug it off and everything. And I'm guessing that's what she sat up there and did. She started to like shrug it off and just sit up there and just like, not pay it no mind. Like, oh, it's probably like deductibles and stuff like that. And that's how I feel like some of that stuff starts with that scamming. Like, okay, you see like $1 here deducted, $8 here deducted. So you just like thinking that it's just like some minor stuff, and the next thing you know, it's like a big lump sum of money. And then it would be like she would sit up there and like go out to the Airbnbs, do all of the room service and stuff like that, and this, that, and the third. She'd be like, well, I think I'll be doing room service and stuff. And then, like when she does room services and stuff like that, you can't get your money back because it's included into the hotel bill. So she's like, but a lot of this stuff I really don't remember me actually like purchasing this and this and this. I mean, of course, it's stuff that I like to do, but I don't really remember this and the third. So I don't know how to tell, like, file for like fraud and stuff like that if I really don't like remember me, like processing those transactions and stuff like that. So I'm like, well, were you able to get any type of like receipts from your last places where you were at and stuff like that? She was like, yeah, I got some. But I'm like, you know but she was like, well, but the 40K, like, that's a lot of fucking money. That's a lot of backtracking I gotta do. So I was like, well, try to do as much as you can and to see what type of progress you can get before you actually go and like, file for the fraud or whatever. And because I don't think they can give you that big amount of money, just like that, without doing like a full on investigation and stuff, because it is a lot of money. And a lot of people are going through a lot of things and this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. So she was like, yo, you right, this and this and this. So she went and called her other friend to go and get like, a second opinion, and everything pretty much added up. Everybody sitting around and saying the same thing, this and this. But she was like, she wouldn't want to tell her friend what was going on. I was like, well, kind of like hint at it a little bit, and just to see what he says and to see how he is or whatever the case may be, because he probably is your friend and everything, but then at the same time you don't want him to think that you are careless with your money, and you not like real, like careless with your money, and you can't be trusted with like a lot of money and stuff like that, because a lot of these, but sometimes, like, a lot of these dudes, they walk around with like a lot of money and stuff like that, and they not really on like social media and stuff, whether it's, whatever type of stuff that they like to be into. Like, a lot of them walk around with like a lot of money, so you don't want to be sitting around there. And then especially like he dressed nice and stuff like that, so it looked like he could hang with a little bit of everybody. And he just like got money, every time like he gonna pull up and stuff like that. It's a nice car and everything like that. It ain't nothing like ugly or nothing. Like, it's just real nice, real elegant and stuff like that. So you know whatever. But anyway, back to the bank charges and stuff like that. So but at first, I'm not gonna lie, she was looking at me like, with a little bit of side eye. But I'm like, don't even look at me. I was like, I don't indulge in that, first of all, and you can check my records, Jack. But and then she just laughed it off and shit like that. But I be thinking, like, sometimes people, they be looking at me with like a side eye, because they don't know, like, I'm not around them like that for real. And they just be thinking that I'm just like gonna be grimy one day and say F everybody, this, and you know just take everybody money, and they're not gonna know or find me, and I'm gonna be off some freaking where. But that was just a little jokey joke between me and her, but now it's between me and only y'all now, whoever be watching this. But and that's what I told her, that advice that I gave her, because at the same time, I think she's, like trying to find a guy as well, just like your girl, and everything like that. And, it's hard out here. It really is hard to like try to like, find somebody, and, who you mesh with and stuff. You be thinking like it's so easy and everything. No, everything and everybody ain't everybody's cup of tea. And that's what, people, they fail to like realize and stuff like that. They be thinking, oh, everybody is this. Just because this person do content creation and this person model, that don't mean that they're gonna sit around there and mesh together, So a lot of people got to take into consideration of like a lot of stuff, and everything like that. But that's the advice that I gave her and stuff like that. I will update y'all on like the fraud charges and stuff, to see what happens and stuff like that, because y'all, that is a lot of freaking money. And me losing something like that as well, like, we in the same dang on boat. So I know how it feels. Now she know how it feels, so hopefully she'll be able to like, drop